As the dust settles after the explosive confrontation between the United States and Iran, a new message is emerging from Lebanon, a message of defiance. It is a message that suggests Iran's allies believe they have weathered the storm and emerged still standing. And at the center of it is Hezbollah. In a fiery televised address, the group's chief, Naim Qassem, laid down a clear demand, one that he framed as leaving no room for negotiation. Israel, Qassem said, must leave completely, and according to a fixed timetable. No partial pullback, no buffer zones, no compromise. He declared that Israel has no choice but to withdraw from every inch of Lebanese territory, insisting that only the Lebanese army should be deployed south of the Litani River. It was a maximalist demand, delivered with total confidence, and the timing was no accident. The statement came at a crucial moment. Just days after the ceasefire that halted the latest regional confrontation, Tehran is projecting resilience. Iranian leaders are celebrating what they portray as a victory against American pressure. And across what is often called the axis of resistance, there is a growing perception that the balance of power may be shifting. For Hezbollah, this appeared to be the moment to show that neither months of conflict, nor Israeli operations, nor mounting international pressure had broken its political resolve. But there may be another factor emboldening Hezbollah, the increasingly visible tensions between Washington and Tel Aviv. The United States remains Israel's closest ally, yet recent disagreements over military strategy and the path forward in the region have fueled speculation about cracks in what was long considered an unshakable partnership. For groups aligned with Iran, even the perception of friction between the US and Israel is enough to signal opportunity. It is an opportunity to push harder, to demand more, and to test the limits of Israeli deterrence. And Hezbollah's latest stance reflects exactly that calculation. The group is not speaking the language of retreat. It is speaking the language of leverage, the language of an organization that believes the regional dynamics may finally be moving in its favor.
The result that we want to reach. What is the situation now? There is an Israeli aggression that failed to achieve its goals and its project was broken. 1. 2, there is a resistance, a people and a nation that made great sacrifices and stood firm. And the resistance is still standing, ready, and will continue. What we want is our rights, our land, and our sovereignty. We want the liberation of Lebanon. We want the aggression to stop. These claims that they are worried about its security and it has the right to act for its security, if it was worried about its security, it has destroyed all of its security. Now, do you deal with the one who destroyed everything, or do you deal with the one who says they are worried? Besides, it is an occupier, even in Palestine, meaning it has no legitimacy in the region in the first place. We are the legitimacy. The Palestinians are the legitimacy. From here, I want to say, we now have a ceasefire. The withdrawal must take place within a timeline. Israel has no choice but a full withdrawal from all Lebanese territories without keeping a single inch under any pretext whatsoever. And the implementation of the 5 points, stopping the aggression by air, land, and sea completely, and the Israeli withdrawal, the deployment of the Lebanese army, and the return of the prisoners, and the return of the residents to the very borders, and reconstruction, meaning these 5 points are our right and must be implemented. Israel withdraws and the Lebanese army deploys exclusively south of the Litani. And we, within the ceiling of mutual security, will cooperate with the Lebanese army to the utmost limit, just as we cooperated on November 27th and afterwards during 15 months. Israel has nothing to do with what we agree on at the internal Lebanese level. And it must be prevented from interfering, asking, or knowing. It's none of its business. Knowing what we will do in the future is none of its business. It must be prevented from this interference. Now, the political authority in Lebanon has a proven guarantee called the resistance. The most honorable resistance that broke the arrogance of America and Israel and prevented Israel from achieving its goals. We are telling you, benefit from this resistance to be strong in facing challenges. And we are ready. Everything has its price, and you get what you pay for.
But Hezbollah's confident demand has run straight into a wall. Israel has openly questioned the claims coming out of Beirut. Israeli officials remain deeply skeptical that Hezbollah's military infrastructure has truly disappeared from the south, and they are not willing to take Lebanon's word for it. Despite the ceasefire arrangements, accusations of violations have continued to surface, along with persistent concerns that Hezbollah's fighters and weapons never fully left the border zone at all. And that single question now hangs over everything. Lebanon insists its army has deployed across the south and that Hezbollah was disarmed from those areas. Israel's security establishment sees it very differently, continuing to treat the Iran-backed group as one of the most significant threats on its borders. So, while one side speaks of a war that is over and a region that has changed, the other warns that the danger is still very much alive, hidden just out of view beneath a fragile calm. That gap has produced a dangerous standoff. Because while Hezbollah is demanding a complete and immediate Israeli withdrawal, Israel refuses to accept the new reality the group claims to have created. One side insists the war has rewritten the rules. The other simply will not accept that equation. Neither is backing down, and each new accusation of a ceasefire violation risks pulling both sides back toward the very confrontation the truce was meant to end. And in the middle of all of it stands Lebanon itself, a country caught between competing narratives, competing armies, and competing visions for the region's future. Its government wants to project sovereignty and control. Hezbollah wants to project strength and defiance. And ordinary Lebanese, exhausted by years of war and crisis, are left to live with the consequences of a standoff they did not choose and cannot easily escape. Above it all, the wider contest continues. For now, Hezbollah is projecting strength. Iran is claiming vindication, portraying its survival through one of the most dangerous confrontations in years as proof that American and Israeli pressure has failed. And at the same time, questions continue to swirl about the durability of US-Israel unity, as visible disagreements over strategy raise doubts about how aligned the two allies truly remain. So the ceasefire may have ended the shooting, but it has not ended the struggle. The contest for power, influence, and regional dominance is only entering its next chapter. The guns are quiet and the cameras have moved on, but the underlying battle over who sets the terms in the new Middle East is far from settled. And Hezbollah, for its part, wants the world to know that it intends to be a major part of whatever comes next.